Wake up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That probably woke Kyle up. Everybody charge your razors. Charge your razors, people. Absolutely. Holy crap. How are we doing on this cloudy, schmutzy? Still can't go fishing because it's raining Tuesday. But that's okay because we got other things that we're going to be doing tonight. Right? How's everybody doing? Let's see what we got here. Oh, boy. I've already lost the chat. Hey, Colin, how you doing, bud? And the Checkers play back. Checkers are playing tonight. Skinner's back in net. That makes sense. Hey, Simon. Exactly, Craig. Just stay out of the box. Play smart. Kazuma, you're going on vacation Thursday. You don't have to worry about a game 7. Exactly. Hey, Roger. Luongo's banging the drum tonight. As he should be, right? I mean, the uproar if it wouldn't have been Luongo. It has to be Luongo. Of course it is. Real, how you doing? Kazuma wants to know if I saw the video of Oilers fans fighting during Game 3. One of them gets KO'd by the other in a watch party? No way. I did not see that. See, this is the kind of stuff I miss because I don't go to Twitter and all of that. Hey, Mythical. Bennett's never got the puck that's interesting. Maybe he doesn't want it. I don't know. But Vanacek did. Well, because last year, somebody, I forget who it was, but last year somebody gave Gadjevich one of the pucks, even though he wasn't playing. So I think Gadjevich wanted to return the favor there. There you go, Bolvar. Appreciate that, bud. Exactly, John. Just don't give him the lead early. Just keep taking care of business. Hey, Simon. So, asking about the Olympics. I didn't look all that closely at it yet because obviously they still have to flesh out the teams. My attention has been elsewhere. I know we had 5 players, but Sturm probably won't be coming back. So far it's only 4. Oh, my nose is itching because it is. The mustache is killing me. Hey, SoFlo. Who gets to be the Sniggle boss tonight? Honestly, I think Marchand's going to continue and complete. Although in my video I put out last night, I did ask Erod for a Stanley Cup final game-winning goal. So there's that. Hey, Green Loogie. JC, how you doing, bud? James says, Verhaeghe is under fire from Edmonton fans. Panthers skipped out on practice very early today, but Verhaeghe stayed on the ice to block out the Oilers from being able to practice. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yes, exactly, Steven. Just keep playing the way we've been playing, except for the parts where we let them come back from the leads, right? Hey, Kenneth. Says Panthers have allowed an average of 7 goals in Game 6 in the finals. Well, we've only had 1 Game 6 though, right? Which was last year. We've never been in another Game 6 because we got swept and then Vegas beat us in 5, right? Yeah. Yes, Simon. Just end it tonight. Completely agree. I did not see the Olympics rosters. I saw the Panthers players that were on there, but I didn't see the rosters. Edmonton is saying it's not Oilers fans fighting. Their fans say they were attacked by Panthers fans during Game 5. I don't believe anything I see online. I don't care who says it. JC, Donna, and Leia will be here tonight. She's at work now, but she will be here tonight, and she only has 1 sick day left, so she wants to try to just go to work in the morning, which would mean she'd have to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know about that, but we'll see what happens. But she'll be here tonight for sure. Hey, thank you, Vanish. Thank you, Vanish. Much appreciated, bud. He says, hey, Jaws, I'm predicting the Oilers tonight. If anyone can do it, it's them as Canucks fan. Nice if Luongo gets the cup again. Canada needs the cup. I don't think it's happening tonight, brother, but I understand. Lax says, oh, geez. I don't even want to. Why? Why is she? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Hey, Patel. Exactly, Fly. I really wish this to be the last game of the season. Amen. Per Jameson, Swaggy is skating alone on the Oilers practice rink so they can't get on early. Little bit of gamesmanship there. But if it's a scheduled time, right? If it's a scheduled time, I mean, that's the Panthers' scheduled time to have it, I guess, right? If they can't get on early. Hey, JC. All right, so JC says if Donna and Leigh are on the stream tonight, we'll cancel out Taylor Swift being at the arena. All right, that seems fair. That seems fair. Oh, that's okay, Kenneth. Yeah. I just was wondering if I had forgot one. You know, we've been to so many finals recently. They all start to run together. That's sarcasm, by the way. Can you believe this? We are one game away. One game away from 2 in a row. SoFlo says 2-1 in overtime tonight. Not going to say who wins. Boy. I mean, I already have the clip ready for Verhaeghe in overtime, so they may as well just do that, right? Hey, Trey. If it worked that way, Trey, maybe. Huh? If it worked that way, maybe. The last thing we need is it's the last thing we need. Trey. Hey, Sunshine, let's close this out. Exactly. Fly Guy said Edmonton had bands play next to our hotel pregame so the guys couldn't rest. There you go. Yep. Gamesmanship. It is what it is. Yeah, we gave up 9 to Vegas in game 5. That's true. But we were cooked. You know what I mean? We were cooked. Frost says, why are the Oilers practicing at our practice facility? I would assume that's the way it normally is. I would assume that. I don't know how all that stuff works. I have no confidence that is true. That Verhaeghe and Marchand have been viciously bashing Skinner's kids during the games. That is absolute fake news. I'm not saying TSN didn't report it, but I'll take things that never happened for 10,000. Hey, Hungry. Hungry says Jackie Redmond backtractor comments on Taylor Swift going to the game. Gotcha. Good. That's even better. Goldie was on the Chicklets podcast yesterday. Yeah, they won with Marino in game 3 against Vegas. So Trey says the cap went up $30 million the season they started dating. Yeah, but that was a planned thing because after COVID, everything blew up. I'm not giving Taylor Swift any credit. Hey, Simon. So I actually did get to the gym this morning. Can't go fishing because it's still raining outside. But we're going to win the cup tonight, and then there will be lots of time for fishing. TSN tweeted it out. I don't believe it for a second. I just don't believe it for a second. Sounds like absolute fake news. Student says, Johnson, we talk about Martian Ekblad being re-signed, but someone that no one talks about is finding a backup for Bobby. No, I talked about it in the video. In the video I put out a couple of days, Kazuma, I talked about that. Alex Lyon is out there. We might just go with Kakkonen, who we traded Drieger for. We're in that position now where we're going to be having cheap backups for him. That's just the way it's going to be. Cooper Black, the hope is that he's going to develop, right? That's one of our hopes. But while this Stanley Cup window is open for the next couple of years, it's Bobrovsky. That's just the position we find our in. Trey. Oh, I don't say. James is probably telling the truth in terms of what TSN is saying. But whether or not, I have no confidence that actually happened. Hey, Dark Soldier. Maple Magalos or conspiracy theories. I like that. Maple Mag. Oh, that's pretty good, Trey. Greg says, not a chance in hell it's real. Especially Verhaeghe. I mean, give me a break. You think after all these years, Marchand would ruin his reputation by saying stuff like that? It's Fossey said, whoever said that about Swaggy and Marchand is stupid and fake. Exactly. At least choose players that we might believe. You know what I mean? Exactly, Steven. Yeah. Thomas says, Goldie mentioned on the Chicklets podcast that teams use our practice facility. Thank you for that. Trey says, what TSN actually reported was that Oilers fans were sending Skinner death threats. I see. Yeah, I remember that, Hungry. You did ask Kane if he needed some money. I remember that. I just don't believe it, James. I don't know what to tell you. I get what you're saying, but oh my God, Patel with the Taylor Swift. Yeah, no, please, no. If I drank, period, I'd be wasted. Hey, Chris, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. I see. Let's end this tonight. John says, how about offering Martian a 1-year contract? Will money be free at the end of next year to sign him longer? I don't think he would want to do that, though. I don't think that. I mean, I suppose it's possible, but I would think at his age he would want term because, you know, if he did sign for the 1 year and we won another cup, then he's probably, you know, he would probably end up trying to get signed elsewhere. You know what I mean? I don't think a 1 year would be something he would take. Hungry says we'll get Drieger back. Well, we just traded him. I don't think we would. I don't think we wanted him. I mean, we literally just traded him for Kakkonen at the deadline. Dark. Soflo says re-sign Vanny. I don't know, man. He was making good money. He would have to, number one, work on his side-to-side motion, and number two, we only kind of have $1 million for him. Hey, RC. So he thinks 2-1 finish, Barkov title winner. That's very possible. Trey says, first it was on Twitter, now it's on the ice. No, James, what I'm saying is I understand TSN might say it. That don't make it true. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe a damn thing that I just don't believe it. I'm not saying you're lying about TSN reporting it. I'm saying prove it. Prove it. You know what I mean? It's so obviously fake. Eyes, no, my heart's good enough. My heart's good enough. We're winning tonight. No doubt. Exactly, Dark. Hey, Baja 1, BJ. How about BJ? Everybody likes BJ. Kenneth says no backup goalie next year. Bob, and 6 skaters and no goal. We'll just put Samoskevich in net. Green says it's actually the fact that Oilers fans will threaten Skinners and is right through most social media, and they even leaked their numbers and email. That's the original story as far as I heard. Real says bring back the Lion King. It's a possibility for sure. Communist says this game smells like 2-0, 2-1 Oilers. Hopefully I'm wrong. Also, I think I saw someone mention that this final has been most trash talkiest series in recent memory. I mean, that's probably true. Fly Guy says Swaggy can barely sweep. If there's one guy not saying that stuff, it's Swaggy. We're good, Chris. No need to be worried. No need to be nervous. Fly Guy, you guys are going to have to make sure she just doesn't get in, right? So Guitar Code, I don't know what the scheduled times are, but apparently the Panthers left practice early and Verhaeghe stayed out there to keep Edmonton from going on the ice early. Steven, yeah, if he signed a 1 year, he'd just retire likely. And that's another possibility. Drieger's in the KHL now. Oh, thank you, Strafasi. You did not know that. Exactly, Case. Finish it tonight. Sovlo says we can trade for Spencer Knight. Oh, you were all joking, hungry? Damn it. Chris says we cannot count chickens before they hatch. We need 4. We have 3. This is the hardest victory of the series we're trying to get. Absolutely agree. Rossi says, today is the day the Panthers win back-to-back championships. Amen. How you doing, Mr. Vids? Icy says, I can just smell an overtime game. Yeah, that wouldn't shock. I don't think anybody would be surprised at that, for sure. Loogie says Verhaeghe didn't block their practice. He prolonged their start. Exactly. I like how you put that. Exactly, David. Yeah, Skinner's starting, so we're good to go. We're good to go there. Yeah, put Samoskevich in that. He needs some ice time. Vanny would need to get better. I mean, we've improved the other guys, but he can't be getting paid the salary he was getting paid. $1,000 for the seats, Jordan. Dang. How do you have evidence of something somebody said on the ice, though? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't believe a damn thing they say. Exactly, Green. We want the cup. Mike, I disagree, man. I think that they were so nervous last year in game 4, 5, 6. That's why we got our asses handed to us. If they relax and just play their game the way they know they can, That's how it works for me anyway. I can throw the ball up against the wall 100 straight times and hit the bullseye if I'm relaxed about it. If I start getting nervous that, oh my God, I better hit that bullseye, it's going to be off. That's just my take on it. Fraggy playing psychological warfare with the Oilers. I mean, they can't be being serious. They just can't be being serious. Simon, what's my prediction for the score tonight? It's probably going to be a lower scoring game, I would assume, right? And that actually might be better for Florida because if we get up 3-0 again, you're going to piss off McDavid again, and then they're going to try to come back again. I'd rather keep it a 1-goal lead, maybe 2, and not antagonize Edmonton into comeback mode. Fly Guy, I know. I was hoping they wouldn't have to do the Olympics next year. We'll see. Guitarco says, last year when we won, I was up until about 4 a.m. bouncing. I'm napping later in preparation. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Music Tyrant says the nerves start coming in right about now as everyone notices we're 8 hours away from puck drop. You know, maybe it's different for me. I don't know. Last year, you know, you guys know what I was going through with Fluffy. So I'm relaxed about it. I feel good about it. I'm intense about it, but I don't feel nervous. And I guess one of the bigger reasons why I don't feel nervous about it is because we blew that lead in game 3 or 4, right? And then we didn't blow it in game 5. Like we actually showed that we came out in the second period when we had that lead and played our heavy, intense game. So I feel good about it. Mr. Vids, I hope not. I hope not. Ryan Nugent Hotman's not a practice. Oh, he'll play though. You know what I mean? Green Loogie, yeah. Perry's on the top line. I think they're lying, James. I think they're lying. There's no possible way those dudes are threatening Skinner's kids. It's just absurd. Yeah, when the direct sources actually say who said it and what they said, then maybe it'll have some credence. I think they're full of shit. I think they're just trying to gin up energy for the Oilers. I think nobody would believe it unless they actually had McDavid sitting there telling us exactly what they said and who. But if it's anonymous sources, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's the same trick the media does all over the place in every subject. Mythical Riz, I'm up to Chuck E. Cheese. All right, bud. Have fun. David says 2-1 again. Yeah, same as I'm not doing the score prediction, but David's saying 2-1 again, same as clinching home game last year. Kachukin says they've had a year to think about that skid. I'd hope the nerves are not an issue. Right. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Oh, geez, Hockey Reddit. Hockey Reddit is about as credible as the bunny's ass outside my window. Trey says, I was thinking about it more and more. And if we traded Roddy, the Roddy replacement is actually Marchand, scrappy winger that can play all 4 lines. Exactly. Exactly, Trey. I mean, Hockey Reddit, man. Come on now. Trey says we can absolutely trade Jay Bo, though. Nothing against him, but he makes $700,000 more than he should, and every dollar counts. That was one of the reasons why I was surprised about that contract. But you wouldn't want to do Jay Bo and Rodriguez. That's a lot. That's a bunch of depth. Kazuma says first 20 minutes will decide the game. We need to score first. I like that. Trey. There's a big difference, James, between somebody saying your kid is ugly and threatening someone's kids. So I'm not directing this comment, this part of the comment at you. But if someone is so soft as to, and this is what people do. This is what people do. It's the same thing as Dangle saying that Tkachuk was patting Bennett on the chest for attempting to hurt Skinner or for hurting Skinner. This is what people do. If somebody says your kid's ugly, that's a very, very big different thing than threatening someone's kid. Hey, Dom. I know, Ken. It's been a whole year, man, right? Craig, I don't know, man. There's no threat on our hockey only post saying Verhaeghe is skating alone to use the rest of the Panthers' practice time, right? Hey, Jason, how you doing, bud? 2 more points. Exactly. Someone says, I didn't think I'd feel more nervous than last year, but it's even worse. Huh. James says, Kapanen and Klingberg in, Stetcher and Arvidsson out for the Oilers. I thought Arvidsson's been pretty good. Honestly, he's kind of been a pain in the ass, but okay. I get it. Hey, Don, welcome to the stream, bud. Thanks for hanging out with us. Music Tyrant says, Dangle, TSN, Egg, majority of hockey community thinks Edmonton wins tonight. It still feels like everyone in the world thinks Edmonton will win tonight. Not here. Not here. Appreciate that, JD. It's doable. It's doable if we get creative with things. Well, in other news, Marner is refusing to talk with Toronto and has canceled his annual charity event. Yeah. Somebody's going to overpay for him, you know. Trey says, flip Roddy and J-Bo. Sign Bennett and Marchand, and then the ball's in Ekblad's court. Trey says, we have youth depth, whether Paul likes it or not. We do. It's there. We could use it, right? I wish Puljujärvi was as fast as Boquist. Greg says, Erod has kids and the Panthers are building the family culture. And I get what you're saying. Just force Ekblad to I guess if Ekblad walks, we got the money to sign Marchand. Still not to a ton, though. Run with the King says, I've never seen a team so good at playing the psychological game like the Panthers do. That's now getting into the fans of the heads of the fans as well. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Canadians are triggered from they haven't won the cup in forever, but the series isn't over. It isn't over. JD, do I think Lyon is coming back to Florida? If we don't just bring up Kakinen from the AHL, because we just traded Drieger for him, if we don't give him a shot, when I looked at the free agent goalies, Lyon kind of makes sense kind of makes sense, familiar with the team, obviously. And we had brought back Drieger, right? So maybe we bring back Lyon. That was the name that stuck out to me. There's no real overwhelming names out there at $1 million. You know what I mean? You could throw James Reimer out there, but he's like 50 years old at this point. Maybe we can get, if Lyon's not under the pressure of trying to be the starter, work with his game a little bit, and we can get the same mileage out of him again. Hungry says, remember that whole seafood snafu a month ago when the guys that came here claiming seafood told them to Minecraft themselves? Yes, exactly. Exactly, Hungry. Rumor has it that the Oilers coach. Let me guess. Who did that one? Was it Maurice making those calls? Big Dog says, "My worry about the Cats struggling to close teams out." I mean, we've done it. I kind of feel a little bit better about it. When I saw Tkachuk's, when he talked to the media yesterday, he seemed locked in when he said, "We know how we have to play." So I really feel like, yeah, we kind of dicked around with Toronto and Carolina there a little bit. But I also kind of feel like some of that we were still trying to, unfortunately, conserve energy, right? Remember, we had plastered Toronto in Game 5, and we kind of felt like Toronto might just quit, and maybe that's what Florida went out there and thought in 6. Soflo says, keep J-Bo, can shuffle around the lineup, trade E-Rod, nice player, but playing with Barkov and Reinhart the whole time. J-Bo is slightly worse, but cheaper version. Right. Exactly, Trey. So I think I got a super here. Hold on a second. Hey, thank you, Skyler. Thank you, bud. Much, much, much appreciated, buddy. Said, good luck, Cats. Let's get loud as we can at sunrise tonight. Let the Oilers hear it. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Yeah, loud. Loud, loud, loud. All right, David, that stinking work. Always making you work, man. Dark Soldier. Yeah, we'll take Marner for $3 to $4 million a year. Soulflow. TSN reports that Matthew Tkachuk was bullied in elementary school, and he also had a prissy Bergeron Freeze, I don't know how to say, named Snuffles. And he slept with a teddy bear until he was 17. Was the teddy bear named Mr. Snuffleupagus? Because that would track. Thank you, SoFlo. Oh, boy, Simon, what's Zito going to do? It all depends, man. You got to get Bennett done, Samoskevich done, one of Ekblad or Marchand. We don't – if we sign Bennett, Samoskevich, and Ekblad, we don't have any needs left other than maybe a backup, forward and a backup defenseman at most. We need a backup goalie. But in terms of the top 9, we're set. We've got too many players for the top 9 practically. So I don't really see us doing a whole lot of anything. Sovlo says Mackey replaces E-Rod in the top 6, and maybe we can recoup some draft capital. Yeah. Keep J-Bo and the shuffle guy. Yeah, no, Marner's not coming. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say trade E-Rod, especially after he's going to get the Stanley Cup final game winning goal tonight. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Maybe Marchand will take $2 million. Oh, boy. Next on TSN, idiot Florida Panther YouTuber suggests Marchand will take $2 million. and threatened his kids. You know, it's just like, wow. Take Marner for a bag of pucks. They better be new pucks. Exactly, Soldier. We don't need anyone except for a backup goalie if we sign them all. Kazuma, yeah, that one showed up. You're saying the hot garbage sports video on why Canada is to blame. It one showed up in my my feed. I just haven't watched it yet. Real says, no matter what you think, they keep any of the following: Schmidt, Nosek, and Greer. Well, Greer is signed. Greer is signed for next year. Schmidt can stay, but he's going to have to take $1 million. And Nosek, same thing. Same thing, right? It's just a matter of how much money those guys want to take. BJ says, give him a bag of pucks and maybe a new stick. Hey, Dana. Tonight's the night. I like the positivity, Dana. Dennis says, you can throw anyone in as the backup goalie, make the guy skate in the regular season some games. That's a good point. That's a good question. Although Vanacek does need to fix his side to side. He'd be a pretty good goalie if he could fix that, right? Now, if the Panthers goalie coach can fix Drieger's rebound control, which was his problem, maybe he can fix Vanacek's side to side motion. Get Luongo out there. Dark says, I've been avoiding that video since when you watch his videos, we lose. Huh. I didn't think about that. Mickey's anxious for tonight. We'll be cool. I feel like this team, I know how this sounds because, boy, have they been tough on learning lessons. But tonight is the night they prove that they've learned what they've needed to learn to do this. Now, don't get me wrong. Edmonton is going to be batshit crazy tonight, especially if it gets to the third period and they're down a goal or two. So, bubba. Music said Marchand could do just the 3 or 4 per year. We have enough to pay Bennett money after that. Technically, yes, but then you still got to either sign Ekblad or replace Ekblad. It gets real tough. A new Predator movie has come out. Jeez. Greg says Marshy takes $2 million per in a condo and Del Boca Vista next to the Seinfelds. All right, that works. SoFlo. Reinhard barking, Marner, Chucky Bennett. Well, where's Verhaeghe? That you just replaced Verhaeghe. No, I'm not excited. I don't like that. I don't like it. Dana, have fun. You're not selling your tickets, right? Jordan, it's got to be Luongo. I think somebody said that was confirmed, right? Yeah, Trey, you want another belt, right? JD, the problem with that is finances. It's not a cheap thing to do. And I have found that the problem with the pregame stuff is I've tried it a couple of times, and what ends up happening is the YouTube algorithm is dog shit. So if I put out a video 3 or 4 hours before the game as a pregame hype, very few people are going to see it. And then because the game starts, views just completely crater. So then YouTube treats my next video like shit because the previous one cratered so bad. So it's not necessarily so much that I wouldn't be willing to do it. I've done it a few times before, and the algorithm doesn't differentiate. All it sees is all of a sudden at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, nobody watched this video, and then it was done. And so the algorithm treats you real poorly when that happens. Hey, Mickey, thank you, bud. Thank you, Mickey. He says, where's Paul Laws on my all-time favorite Panther list? Pretty high up there. It's pretty high up there. Jovo was at the top. Jovo was at the top. I wish he would have been able to stay with us the whole career and not, he only came back after his hip was shot. But Laws is pretty far up there. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. He says, if Panthers win, I'll be no sick tonight and feel great. There you go. Thank you, Great White. Appreciate that, man. Colin says the Wonga made a tweet about it yesterday and goalie retweeted it and commented. Yeah, it's a no-brainer, right? It has to be. It has to be Luongo. I don't think they would have let somebody. They would have, the fans, if it wasn't Luongo, the fans would have just gone up to the dude and taken the mallet out of his hands. Dana says, I'm going to the game. If we lost the other night, I would have sold them. Right. I probably would have made $4,000 by selling them too, but there's no way I'm missing it if we have the chance to win the cup. Smart move. Smart move, Dana. And then if that would have happened, you could have used the $4,000. You could have used half of it to go to Game 7. It still made money. So Flo says, I low-key completely forgot about Swaggy. Oh. Yeah, then you'd have to put Sam Miskevich with Lundell and Luosterainen, which I don't know if can Samuel play on that side, because I know he was playing on the left side with Bennett and Tkachuk. Kenneth says, breaking news, YouTuber called YouTube dog shit. When asked for a comment, YouTube said, yeah, it is what it is. Dana says, I'm feeling pretty confident these guys are going to lay it all on the ice and dig deep tonight. I agree. Yeah, the warming up in the bullpen with a gif of Farrell. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Green says it would cost me alone close to $9,000 CAD to make it in the 10 tonight. Yikes. Holy crap. Jason, Erod in overtime. Okay, yeah. Rodriguez in overtime. Yeah. Real says put Martin with E2 and Lundell. They'll toughen them up. Jeez. JD, I appreciate that. Just email me at flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com and we'll chat. We'll chat. So part of it is obviously finances in terms of paying somebody. But the part about releasing the video before the game, like if I had one for the morning of a day of a game, that probably something that would work. But when I've tried to do stuff like pregame hype, it just craters, unfortunately. It's all algorithmic, man. It's like anyway. So yeah, just email me at flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com and we'll chat. Trey says 13, 16, 19, 23, 42, 72, all going up when it's over. 5 goes up if we win. 9 goes up if we win and he stays or wins Conn Smythe. Reinhardt, Barkov, Chucky, Verhage, Forsling, 70. Yeah, that sounds about right. We're going to run out of teens numbers, right? Everybody will have to be 14. What about the second three-peat, Trey? Don't you think Lundell will be part of that? I'm greedy. Soldier says, I think Marchand would take 3 to 4. Bennett would take 6 to 7. And Ekblad would take 5 to 6. Problem is the only way we could do that. Well, I don't know if you saw the video I did the other day, Dark. I did a very extensive breakdown of the salary cap and all the different options. It's on the channel. That's one of the kind of possible options there, but I don't think Bennett's taking anything less than 8. But the only way it would happen is if we traded Rodriguez, because there's not enough money to do what you're suggesting there and then fill out the roster. Jason's got Seth Jones. I'll take it. So, Omar, somebody came to the chat earlier telling me about it, And I don't believe it. I don't. I just don't believe it. I think people make shit up, and I don't believe it. Anthony says, also, if we win tonight, who's a player that hasn't played the whole series that you can see the Panthers giving a game puck to like Vanacek? Well, my assumption is that if they win, Maurice gets the last puck like he did last year. That would be my assumption. Hopefully he doesn't slam it in and knock all the pucks down like he did last year. So I would assume that it would be Maurice. I mean, you're not going to give it like Samoskevich or Balinskis or Bolquist. So I think Maurice gets the last puck. Got you, JD. Appreciate it. David. Trey said, yeah, kind of like you can't really wear a single digit on the Yankees, right? Nice, Dana. Yeah. Did you renew even at those crazy prices for next year, Dana? Were you able to renew? Dark. Yeah, that would be the only way. That'd be the only way. Great White. Yes. Donna and Leigh are going to be here. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, Silver says Bennett's going to get a hat trick tonight. As long as we still score more goals than them, I'm fine. Right? Soul says no overtime. The boys have to get it done. Doesn't matter who scores game-winning goal, but as long as they win it from home. Wouldn't surprise me if it was Marchand, but if it was one of the fourth-line guys too. Yeah, exactly, David, right? John says, did I see Freeman saying that Bennett was offered 8x8 by the Panthers and turned it down? That's not good news. That wouldn't be good. I mean, 8x8 is about the most he could expect out of us. But who knows? These are the same guys that saying Sam Reinhart was going to get $12 million. Or what's it going to come back? He's going to get 8x8.25. You know what I mean? Chris says, we're winning the cup tonight. No bad vibes, positive energy. Exactly. Music Tyrant, yeah, you can expect McDavid and Draisaitl will be on the same line a lot tonight, and the first 10 minutes are going to be sweat-inducing, no doubt. Oh, Soflo Jonah Gadjevich in overtime. Boy. Hey, Americs, doing pretty good today. Doing good. Kyle just woke up, so he's getting ready to take his shower. Jason says I wouldn't be opposed to Zito getting the last puck. That's not a bad idea either. I hadn't thought about that. Anthony, I don't. Who's going to give Marchand? Who would give Marchand 9.5? I don't think anybody would be talking about that. Where did you see that, bud? Yep, Cup is in the building tonight. Hey, Colby, how you doing, bud? Raji says Panthers win tonight. I get the Panthers logo tattooed on you. Make sure it's the right logo. Make sure it's the right logo. Don't get that new thing tattooed on you. I know, Dark. It's wild. It's wild. Omar says gave Kapanen 8 minutes in game 4, benched him game 5. Second line gave 6, gave Stetcher 4 minutes, right? Benches him now. And I thought Arvidsson was playing well. I thought Arvidsson was playing okay. He's kind of been a pain in the ass. Hawkins says it wouldn't surprise me if McDavid and Draisaitl are on the ice over 40 minutes each tonight. If they get behind, likely, right? If they get behind, they likely would need to. Oh, yeah, Craig, good idea. It'd be cool to see Nosek get a goal. Yeah. Solby says it's a whole team effort. Two guys can make a difference, but it's more than that. Well, that's just it. I mean, if they put them together, you know that third line's going to feast. And you're seeing it from people like Ferraro and Friedman are saying. Just remember, Anthony, they all told us last year that Reinhart was going to get 12.5. Whenever you read that stuff on Twitter, keep in mind that it's the agents plumping up the prices. And they told us Reinhart was going to get 12.5. David says, I'm less than 10 miles from the Stanley Cup. All right. I hadn't thought about that. Marchand could end up in Pittsburgh, but why would he want to? You would think he would want to go where he could keep winning, right? Yeah. A Jonah goal would be fantastic. Don is feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. Jordan, I think Nosik's been pretty good. It was just the one game he didn't look like he had a ton of legs. But I think he's been playing pretty well. He's had some chances. He just hasn't buried the puck. I've been very satisfied with how he's played. Mike. Get the real logo. It's permanent. It's forever. This is forever. The new logo will eventually get changed again. What do we got here? Hey, thank you, Miami. Thank you, bud. Thank you for the 10. Says, please give us a win. No heart attacks today. Yeah. Well, the heart attack would be Wednesday and Thursday and all day Friday. Nobody wants to have to go through that. So, Anthony, if we don't sign Marchand, we don't need anybody. I know it's talking about Taves and Kane, but they don't fit what we do. And our top 9 is set. If we don't sign Marchand, you got Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, Samoskevich, Lundell, Luostarinen, and Rodriguez. So I don't think that we would trade Rodriguez to go get one of those guys. I think we just roll with what we got. Manny says Panthers will win 3-2, maybe 4-2 with the empty net. Empty net. I'll take an empty net. I'll take that. I would still be nervous. It'd still be nervous at the end, man. Like last year. My God, we held it 2. Think about how this series has gone for a second. Think about how this particular series has gone for a second. And now think about how long the Panthers held that 2-1 lead in Game 7 last year. I don't know how they did it. I really don't know how they did it. Anthony, no, I don't think we're going to lose Bennett. And Reinhart doesn't like to play center. No, Reinhart already is playing wing. Reinhart already is playing wing, Anthony. So I don't think we're going to lose Bennett. And if we did, you're just going to move Lundell up. But I don't think Zito's losing Bennett. I think Bennett's going to get paid whatever we need to pay him, and then we'll deal with what we have to deal with afterwards. I wouldn't believe until I was to hear it and it would be over. Until Bennett signs somewhere else, I don't have any real concerns that Zito's going to let him go. Omar says, Gretzky is cheering for Florida. Yager's cheering for Edmonton. That's wild. Green says, if we lose Bennett, sign Marchand and just keep the third line as is. Right. I don't think we're going to lose Bennett. You know what I mean? I don't think Zito's gonna let him go. Especially if we win this tonight. He's too key of a piece. He's too important of a piece. I understand Bennett wants to get paid, but he's still, his points production is magnificent so far in the playoffs. But Dane says, yes, I renewed so I could get the season ticket playoff prices, but I was supposed to change the sections for next year. But by the time you got the call, the lower levels were gone, right? Amanda says, Bennett is our heart and soul. Yeah. You're stuck with the tickets. Your son was supposed to give you $200 a month for 6 months, but he didn't, so I'll just sell. Gotcha. Colin Hawk pulls it in overtime. That's going to be a lot of overtimes. Hey, Bad Rat, tonight we dine in hell. I love it. Yeah, back to what Amanda said. She said, Bennett is our heart and soul. Whatever we're going to need to sign Bennett, that's what's going to happen. And if that means, because remember, the Marchand thing is wishful thinking. Let's just look at this from a different perspective. The Marchand thing would be gold on top of platinum, right? But once you remove the idea of re-signing Marchand, we got $19 million. Would we like to have Ekblad back? Yes. But if you had to give Bennett $9 million to stay, that still gives you $10 million to play with for Ekblad, Samoskevich, and filling out the rest of the roster. And then if Ekblad has to walk because he wants to go get paid too, well, then I guess you can't keep everybody. But I just can't imagine a scenario where Zito would lose Bennett unless somebody's going to be offering him like $11, $12 million. Then we might have to take a look at it. But even then, I mean, how much would we have to offer him to stay? I don't know. We're fixing to find out soon. That's for sure. Hey, Amanda. Max Friend says, I took tomorrow off from work for tonight, so hopefully it'll be worth it. Hope so, man. Green Loogie. Dana says, everything's just adding up for the Panthers to win tonight. I just feel it. I feel like I feel the same way. John says, I guess the question then comes, would I rather keep Marchand and let Ekblad walk? Sign a slightly cheaper D-man that's still a decent player. Well, in the video that I did the other day, I looked at that option. And the problem there is, even if you only give Bennett 8, if you'd still have to get Marchand to sign for like 4 or maybe 5 at the least, at the most, to be able to sign him and not trade Erod, because now you have to pay somebody to replace Jones on that second pair with Mikkola because you're going to put him with Forsling. The math is a little bit different if we give Bennett and Ekblad money, because then all you got to do is you're keeping Erod, you're already covered there, and you just have to get a backup goalie and fill out the rest of the roster. So you would have to see a situation where Marchand was basically going to take like $4 million for us to be able to pay Bennett, lose Ekblad, and sign Marchand and fill out the rest of the roster without trading Rodriguez. I mean, maybe you could do it with trading Boquist. Maybe. You'd be tight. Paul Maurice would have to get over his fear of playing young players. Soldier said, let's give Bennett 6 or 7. He's worth way more than that now at this point. But this playoff performance, I mean, 8x8's got to be where it starts. Mike says, isn't it mandatory for the captain to get the cup first? I believe so. I mean, it may not be like a rule. It may just be like the unwritten rule, right? I mean, Barkov could always tell somebody, I got it first last time. Why don't you take it first this year? But then who would he pick, right? You know, if you're Barkov, if you were going to do that. So I'm pretty sure you would just fix any issues there, you just give it to the captain first. No, there's no way we can do that, Anthony. There's no way you can give him that much money. The most we could get away with paying Bennett would be 9. Anything over that, now you're in deeper trouble. Merrick, the question is: the Panthers want to trade for McDavid or Draisaitl. Who would I want to trade in order to give to? Nobody I can think of. Honestly, I wouldn't do it. We're 1 game away from winning our second cup. I would not trade those guys away to try to get. I wouldn't trade any of those guys. It hurts to say trade Rodriguez for Marchand as it is. I'm kind of surprised that Boston didn't ask for Rodriguez in replacement as part of the deal, right? Tarko, after the series, what players and what kind of injuries will be revealed? Clearly, a few of our guys are playing injured. Well, we'll find out if Chucky needs surgery. Find out about Reinhardt's knee, Mikola's shoulder, at the very least. You know, these guys got bumps and bruises all over the place. You know that. I'm trying to think. Luosterainen has been playing well, but he took a beating especially in the Kane series. The Vegas bets are about who the second person he passes it to. Gotcha. Sports Sword says Bork did it with Colorado, not being the captain, and got it first. Exactly, Skyler. Charlie says if Boston took Rodriguez, I don't know if we would have made it this far. Well, you would have seen a lot more of Bohlquist. Or he would have not, Maurice might not have had the option to take Samoskevich off the ice. Exactly. Let's just get this cup tonight. Anthony, yeah, they must have scouts that know that area pretty well. Jake says Bettman made Sakic take the cup before he could hand it to Bork. I mean, that kind of makes sense. I don't remember it specifically, but Soldier says, I don't think Bennett deserves $8 to $9 million for a few reasons. Not performing like this in the regular season, being on the second line and a few others. We disagree. What he means to this team on that second line keeps Lundell on that third line, which is why we're 1 game away from winning the second cup. Yes, could Lundell do the job of 2C? Sure. Is he going to produce like Bennett is in these playoffs? No. That's for starters. And number 2, then what do you have at 3C? What we have now is an advantage over almost every other team on our third line because Lundell, Luosterainen are ridiculous. If you're paying Bennett $7 to be the player he is, and another $1 million or $2 to keep Lundell on the third line, so your cup window stays open. That's just my opinion there. All right, everybody, I gotta roll. Get ready for this night. So, what do we got? 7 hours, less than 7 hours, probably 7 hours till puck drop, man. 7 hours until puck drop. All right, everybody go do the thing. Whatever you did last year in Game 7, I can't go do the same thing, but I'm going to go sit out with Fluffy, and we're going to have a nice long chat, me and the 3 dogs, and get things settled up nice and tight. And everybody just be cool. Everybody be cool. Bring your A game, bring your boost. Donna and Leah will be here tonight, so we're good to go that way. Appreciate all the love and support. Shall see you in less than 7 hours. And then we finish this tonight. And then we'll still be here tomorrow. All right, we'll see you then.